I'm Pete with DekTek Tile. I'm out here with Paul Steinbrecher with Tall Timber LLC, and we're here in the northern Minneapolis suburbs. And we're installing a DekTek Tile deck. Paul here is building it, and we're getting ready to put some tile on. So we're going to walk on up there and take a look at the deck. We're doing it a little bit different than the standard construction this time. We're putting sleepers on over the top of the joists. So why don't you come on up and we'll have a look. We're up here on the deck, and we're here to show you how you can use a sleeper system on top of the joists. This deck has 10-inch joists put 1 foot on center, so they're a little closer together. And then they ran these flat treated sleepers across the top, 16-inch on center for our tiles to set on. And you can also see these holes. He pre-measured and he knows where the center of his tile is going to be, so he drilled 1 hole in the center so the water could drain a little easier around the sleeper. You can actually drain okay around the sleeper, but it's better if you can put a hole or 2 in there because it just facilitates better drainage. And also another thing that you can use these sleeper systems on is when you're building a new deck like this, because then you can put the joist down 1.5 inches lower. And you can use it on old decks too, but you got to have enough space to your door sill, otherwise it's going to be too high. First thing you have to do is install your trims around the edge before we set the tile. He's going to set this piece of trim here on this edge, and then we're going to start setting the tile coming this way. One thing that Paul did on this deck is he designed the whole size of the deck to fit full tile, so there's no cutting, which is a nice way to do it when you get to design your own deck, because then you don't have to do any cutting and it just works out better looking and easier to install. So we'll go ahead and put this on the edge. So Paul here is making sure he has the first piece overhanging his fascia so that it'll encompass his fascia board and still have an overhang to that of 3/4 inches. That's why he's measuring before he puts the screw in. Once again, he's went to the other side of the board. He's measuring it where it sticks out. A full 3/4 inch once he adds his 1/2 inch fascia board. So he's putting his bead of polyurethane glue. One point we'd like to make is when you're using all of our colors, even our cobblestone gray, you can see they all vary a fair amount in shade and darkness. And so you need to have a nice selection of all the different colors as you're setting it, so that you don't end up with all the light ones and light ones in one area, dark ones in the other. Make really sure that your line is exactly straight using a long straight edge or something, because the next day you're definitely not moving any tiles if one happens to be in the wrong position. So be very careful and use a long straight edge to make sure your last line is right where you want it for overnight. This deck is getting the limestone border, just 1 tile wide like that, and now he's going to come back with the cobblestone gray and fill the whole center with cobblestone gray. So let's recap on the installation process of doing the sleeper system. First, you're going to put your 2x4 sleepers perpendicular to the joists. You're going to put those 16-inch on center. Make sure that you put 2 good long screws in them so they're fastened nice and tight to the joist. But the main thing you're going to do is lay out your tile pattern. You're going to set your sleepers to follow your tile pattern. You want to do that and spend enough time to do that, to do it right, because you want it to work out where you have the minimal, you don't want to have narrow cuts here and then wide cuts over there. You want to even it out and make it look good. And if you can keep from putting the narrow cuts in your deck, then it's better off. And so then the second thing you're going to do, you're going to put some additional framing on the edges. You can see where the composite goes and also where your posts go, because you need to fill in for that 1.5 inch gap. You're going to put a little additional framing, whatever you need for the edge trims. And then after the edge trims are on, then you can start setting your tile. you're gonna put a 3/8 inch bead on each side of the sleeper and set your tiles. And when you set your tiles, have a little straight edge or something to kind of tunk them in place as you're going along. And these tiles are not exactly perfect. They're probably within a 1/16 of an inch, so you might have to do some slight bit of adjusting, having maybe a little less of a gap between a tile here and a little more one there. It's a good idea if you were to drill a couple holes on each side of the tile, or right in between them actually, maybe like 3 inches in, drill a hole here all the way through the sleeper. Either 3/8 or a 1/2 inch size drill bit will work well. And do this as you're setting the tile, so when you get this line on, then drill your hole here, drill it there, drill there, drill there. That way you can get the holes exactly where you want them. And then you can facilitate the drainage because the water doesn't have to run all the way around then the sleeper to get out. We want to thank you for joining us today, and hopefully you have a better understanding on how to install a sleeper system for DekTek Tile. Also, make sure you contact your local building codes and authorities to make sure that you build the proper structure for your new deck. If you have any questions about the installation or any questions about our product, please feel free to call us at 218-380-9330 or visit us on our website at DekTekTile.com. Special thanks to Paul Steinbrecher with Tall Timber LLC for letting us come out and film on site with his crew as he's installing a DekTek Tile deck. Contractors, if you're interested in becoming a DekTek Pro, we're looking for builders all across the USA and Canada to install our beautiful tile decks. Just go to DekTekTile.com/pro to sign up, and we look forward to working with you.